Hello, I'm Rumi Haraguchi from Japan. It's a pleasure to have you here. Co-author Asami Onuki is Associate Professor at Shirayuri University in Tokyo. Today, we are very grateful to talk about planning and practice of a RIKADOKU science reading program until milk arrives home based on the 5E model. First, I'd love to introduce you to the backgrounds and the purpose of this study. Some of you might know that early childhood education in Japan does not have subject-based frameworks. Instead, the 5 areas, health, human relationships, environment, language, and expression are set as the contents of the curriculum. Usually, food and nutrition education is conducted in the health area in early childhood education in Japan. However, some problems are pointed out. For example, undeveloped fundamental points such as setting goals, insufficient training for teachers, and inconsistency between preschool and school education. Similar problems are also found in case of career education. As a way to solve those problems, we have been developing RIKADOKU science reading program that can be used in early childhood education in Japan. You might know that the effectiveness of science education programs that introduced reading in early childhood education has already been reported in English-speaking countries. However, it's difficult to use the subject-based educational program in English-speaking countries in early childhood education in Japan as it is. Therefore, it is necessary to develop a program unique to Japan that takes into consideration the contents of the 5 areas. Before starting to develop the educational program, we discussed about the theoretical frameworks. In science education, the process of conceptualizing and accumulating the experience gained from inquiry activities has been examined. The learning cycle of exploration, invention, and discovery proposed by R. Karplus is one of them. R.W. Bybee expanded Karplus's learning cycle and proposed 5E instructional model, 5E model, from the BSCS, Biological Science Curriculum Study. This model is used for curriculum and lesson design based on the U.S. Next Generation Science Standards, NGSS. Picture Perfect series, the guidebooks including many science STEM lesson plans using trade books for K-12, also adopt this Bybee's 5E model. RIKADOKU, which has been advocated in Japan since 2010, is a general term for activities that emphasize going back and forth between scientific reading and actual experience of Rika, Japanese school science. So, it is considered the 5E model is a suitable framework for the development of the RIKADOKU program for younger children that crosses health, environment, and language. In order to develop a food and nutrition education program, performance expectations of children for milk, food, and nutrition education was developed based on the 5E model. For example, at the first stage, engage, children would be able to recall experiences of themselves or their sisters or brothers growing up drinking milk, having eaten milk and dairy products, and try to express them verbally and or physically. Now, let's look at the development of a RIKADOKU program based on the 5E model. There were 3 important points in the development. Point 1, ensuring expertise and cross-cutting in science, food and nutrition education, career education, and books. We held multiple online meetings to develop the program. What was important is that the interdisciplinary members such as science education, life science education, school library, and teacher training specialists collaborated to formulate one program instead of dividing the work into parts. Point 2, ensuring the versatility of the educational program. 1, using trade books. The trade books have advantages such as easily available and appealing and memorable for children. And 2, response to milk allergies is also very important. So we noted to include hands-on activities that follow the process of milk being processed into the products such as cheese or butter and reaching home. And also to promote children's awareness that there is a culture that uses milk of various mammals, not only cows. Here is the program. The first step of 5E model is engage. In this step, we planned to read aloud a picture book, come to the ranch to motivate children for the jobs related to milk. Then, in the next stage, exploration, we tried to use the original map to do activity 1, trace back the journey of milk from home to ranch. In this activity, the map showing the route of milk journey would be given to individuals. Children can compare it with the large map shown by lecturer and confirm how milk travels until it comes home. The third stage is explanation. We set 2 activities here. Activity 2 is review of milk journey. Children put the stickers of people walking during the journey, such as people inspecting milk and so on, to the map to confirm that there are many jobs within the milk journey. Then activity 3 is focusing on the dairy. In this part, children extend the map so that they can see other facilities such as cheese factory or butter factory. Children put extra stickers on the map. Then program move on to the 4th stage, elaboration. In this part, we set another read aloud, Moving Toya. It's the story about Mongolian nomads. Children would see that milk from various mammals other than cows was also used in various forms. The last stage is evaluation. In this part, in addition to the review of the program, we set book talk so that children might expand their interests even after the program. The practices were conducted in A public nursery school in urban area, face-to-face, and B, a private kindergarten in rural area, online and face-to-face hybrid. The results were collected through the video records and interviews to the lecturers of this program and teachers in the nursery school or the kindergarten. Then they are analyzed against the performance expectations of children. As infants' expression activities, not only verbal expressions but also physical expressions were regarded. Performance expectations 1-1, 1-2, 3-2, 4-2 were achieved by many children in both nursery school A and kindergarten B. Regarding 2-1 and 4-1, many children could achieve it in rural areas but few in urban areas. For 5-1 and 5-2, it is necessary to continuously check the effect of the program. The lecturers mentioned that children seemed to think that they shouldn't make a mistake or do not want to make a mistake in activity 2. However, they seemed to start thinking themselves when they proceeded to activity 3. Furthermore, teachers felt that children became to have each thought about milk or ranch after the program. In addition to these results, the change in consciousness of teachers was shown. For example, extra activities such as going shopping at a nearby store to follow the journey of milk, cooperating with nearby ranch to implement an advanced program for children to experience butter making were planned. Moreover, many teachers felt that the program was not only to learn about milk, but also extends to career education and food and nutrition education. Here is our conclusion. Results show that children became interested in where their food came from, as well as the increase in awareness to the facilities and people involved in manufacturing and distribution that exists before the milk arrived at their home. Practices were carried out in both rural and urban areas, and activity records and interviews revealed that both practices were successful. Many performance expectations were achieved in both rural and urban area, but some different. In addition, the results suggest the teachers planned an extra activity to visit a nearby store with children suggested that the program influenced on the teacher's view of career education. It suggested that the program affected not only children but also teachers and parents. In that sense, it was suggested that this program may have been in line with the planning goals. Thank you so much for your kind attention.